Christmas with teens or pre-teens can be expensive. I mean, with children generally. So here is how to make the holiday special without breaking the bank. Yes, you can really make the holiday special and memorable without blowing the budgets, out of the water. Mom, I need this so leggings. They are not expensive. Mom, I want an Apple Watch or an AirPod for Christmas. Dad, I just head of this gaming chair. It's on Amazon. I need it. I need you to get it for me. I get it. We were once teenagers, and it feels really cool, to spot around the latest and the greatest name brands, tech, gadgets, accessories. But as much as we all love to indulge our children, at least somewhat, by surprising them with their gonna haves on Christmas morning, we all know that sometimes our budget just won't allow us. If you're a parent, you should know this. I mean, who knew our Christmas wish list will end up costing more, much more. So if you're struggling to make Christmas special for your preteen or your teen or your children generally without blowing the budget out of the way, here are a few tips, to keep the Christmas magic alive without going broke in the process. Let's get right into it. So the first thing to do is to set a budget, from the get-go, and stick with it. It's easy to get caught up in the flurry and excitement of the holiday and end up, spending a little here and a little there, not realizing how much money you're actually putting out. That's why it's a good idea to set a budget and stick to it. Before you drop a dime, write down. Yes, I said it. Write it down exactly how much you plan to spend on each child. Then every time you make a purchase, anything for them, no matter how small, add a brief description, and the cost of each item. That way you can keep, a running total for each of your children or each of your kids. When you've maxed out your budget, just stop spending. I know it's easier said than done, but I've used this method for years, and it really works for me. Number two, cut it to your teen or your preaching straight on. Our kids they're not little anymore, they're growing up, and it's okay to clue them into the fact that money might be tight this year, or that you're tightening the reins of Christmas spending, for another reason. We have different expenses to the end through the year, so that doesn't mean you should burden them with the details of financial struggle you might be having. It simply means that they are old enough now for us to cut it to them straight up. Not only will it help establish their expectation so they are not disappointed on Christmas morning, but it will teach them also financial literacy, which is a life skill they need to learn. Number three, have them provide a reasonable wish list. If you follow me on Instagram, you see my children's list. I posted it to my story. After you have set the tone for the Christmas budget, I always ask my kids to give me their reasonable wish list. Quite often they send me specific links to items, products they want, which is so nice because it takes the guesswork out of shopping for them. I always try to buy them a few things or one thing if it's expensive, and their list, and layer on the few extra gifts they're not expecting, so they have the elements of surprise when opening gifts. Number four, get creative with your shopping. When your budget is tight or you're trying to cover up spending, and you have to get creative. Start early. That's why I put out this video. Shop sales, use available discounts, take advantage of Black Friday deals, and don't discount the idea of thrifting or buying gently used items. Keep your eyes on the sites where they sell, Facebook markets, and all that kind of thing. You might be surprised how many new, with tags or barely used things you can find at a discounted rate. Number five, get crafty. Where we are in this side of the world, children can make use of fleece blankets. They can make use of hats, gloves. If you are a hands-on person, you can make it clothes for them. That's all I can say on that. Get crafty. If you know how to make things with your hands, just use your hands to make something, as it will reduce the amount that you're going to spend. And number six, scale back on expensive stocking stuffers. You know, those big stockings. What it helps you do is that you can just buy little things and then put inside a gift card here, a bracelet there, you know, a perfume here. Before you know it, you know, you're dropping well over some hundreds, you know, on a simple stockings. With some creative planning, you can fill, you know, your preteens and your teen stockings to the brim. If you give them a stockings, you know, that is with awesome gifts, it won't cost you a fortune. Yes, that's for number 6. And then number 7, focus on needs versus wants. The list that I brought, I told my children to scale it down to the hierarchy of needs. What do they need first? So if I'm not able to buy all that is in that list, you know, I'm buying the top ones that they need first. So let's focus on that. You know, things that come in handy for them, like shoes that they need. You know, less focus on needs more than what they just want. If your teen needs new athletic shoes, you know, pajamas, slippers, or a new laptop for school, Christmas is a perfect time to focus on those needed items versus just peripheral things, you know, that they might want. And then I think the last one is consider an experience gift. You know, while some experience gifts might end up costing as much or more than normal tangible gifts, there are actually plenty of reasonably priced experience gifts that we can give to our preteens, you know, and our things. Think of concert tickets, think park tickets, you know, ski resort, spa, mini pedicure, a gift card, music, you know, play, or even a cool tech class. You know, last year I spent lots of money on coding classes for the year. Think about what your teen might love and price it out. You might be surprised to find you can get an awesome experience gift that is not too overly expensive. And then one more, focus on giving instead of receiving. I talk about this all the time. The beauty of Christmas is truly in giving, not receiving. And even though our kids love to get, they might, you know, not realize how much satisfaction they can feel by turning the limelight off of them and giving. You know, volunteer at the shelter, at church, you know, just offer, you know, a watch on the neighbor's kids, I mean for your teens, so that their mom can go shopping, you know, just let there be an avenue where they are giving. And one other thing that I learned from someone is keep a gratitude journal. Starting from the 1st of December, you know, a lady that I met told me that she gets her kids to write down one thing per day that they were grateful for, and then she puts their handwritten pieces of paper into your holiday gratitude journal. And then on Christmas Eve, when we're gathered around eating snacks and maybe opening presents, we pass around these jars, taking turns reading what everyone, you know, is grateful for. You also try to guess who wrote it. You know, it's such a great idea. You know, it's something that you should do. Special holiday activities and traditions, you know, just like visiting the tree house for some people, cutting down Christmas trees, you know, from the farm, gathering families, you know, visiting families, going to church, you know, going to mass for those that are Christians. And the way the house smelled when our moms were making Christmas breakfast or dinner, I think that's what most of us can remember. So whether money is tight this year or you're just committed to spending less because you have a tendency to go, you know, overboard, focus on making memories, because it's those special memories, you know, that will rest in your children's heart forever. Have you started preparing for Christmas? You know, have these ideas helped you? Drop me a like, drop me a comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.